our global pre-departure orientation. We're really excited to welcome you officially to our Erasmus Mundus Association community. And today we are going to be accompanied by country representatives, program representatives. Some of them are students, current students, and some of them, like me, are alumni. So we are really happy to have you here and just share about our experiences with you. So we're going to get started, and I just want to just tell you about the different pre-departure orientations that have been happening across the globe. So we had a pre-departure orientation in Mexico, Japan, all the way to Jamaica, Vietnam, Germany, China, Kazakhstan, Cambodia. We have been having them in Nigeria, Laos, Zimbabwe, Panama, Peru, and we have many more as well in Philippines, Pakistan, Sierra Leone, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Malaysia, and there are still more happening across the globe. So today you're joining the global one, which is a more centralized one, but they're also happening and will continue to happen towards the end of August and in September, depending on the different countries. So we're just happy that you're part of our big Erasmus Mundus family. And to get started with our event, again, just a warm welcome to our community. More than 2,000 scholars were selected this year. So we're so proud of you, and it was highly competitive. So if you made it, it's so exciting, such a great opportunity. So we are completely happy to have you. We just had a couple of warm welcome from different country representatives in their own native languages. It was very chaotic and listening, but it's so beautiful to see that we have such a diverse community. And you're going to be seeing these greetings in our social media. So we're going to invite you later on to join us to hear them and to hear what they have to say. And I just want to introduce today's agenda. It's going to work in 3 different segments. So first, we are just going to introduce ourselves, the speakers, the moderators, and then we're just going to tell you a bit about what EMA is and how we work and how you can count on us to support you throughout your Erasmus Mundus journey. Then we're going to go into pre-arrival and logistics. That's the more useful part for you because you're transitioning into an exciting moment in life, but it's also surrounded by challenging experiences, or you might have questions, you might have concerns. So we're hoping to address that by telling you about how to plan for these and also how to maximize your academic and professional journey. And we're going to close just with the questions and answers. We have moderators that will be answering some of your questions in the chat. So feel free to ask any questions that you have as we progress through the event. We're going to try to answer all of them in the chat and some of them in the live conversation. That's how we're going to work with this. And maybe we can start by introducing ourselves. I'll go first. My name is Ana Wembes, and I am from Erasmus Mundus, Nicaragua. I'm a scholar, and I graduated in 2024 from the IMESC program. It's in Adult Education for Social Change. And I'm just happy to be here. Moderators and speakers, feel free to introduce yourselves in the order of the photos.
Hi there, everyone. So excited to be seeing you all. My name is Regan Chidakwa. I'm from Zimbabwe. I'm currently the Erasmus Mundus country representative for Zimbabwe. And I'm also the alumni. I'm also an alumni for the Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters program in leading international vaccinology education, which I studied back in 2019 up to 2021. It's a great pleasure to be speaking with you, and I'm so excited and also wishing you all the best in your journey. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anna, for organizing this. My name is Jane Duta Wambura, and I am an old goods Erasmus Mundus Association member as well as volunteer for quite a long period of time. I graduated back in 2017, and I'm now the CRNet community developer. And I have served in several other capacities in the board as well as the previous country representative for Kenya. And I'm happy to be here. I would like to wish everybody just the very best and interact with pretty much all of us because this is going to be a very interactive session and we would love to pour into you as much as we can. Thank you very much.
Hello, everybody. My name is Valentina Carvajal. I actually graduated in 2023, so a couple years ago, from Emotion, is the Master's in Skilled Health Science. I'm currently country representative of Colombia, as well as corporate partnerships coordinators, and I'm very honored to be here, incredibly happy to welcoming you into this new experience. And please don't be shy, ask a lot of questions, and at the end we will have a Q&A to talk with the panelists.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christian. I'm from Nicaragua. I'm an Erasmus Mundus Master in Biomedical Engineering. This is my program. I just graduated like few days ago, and I would like to welcome all of you, to congratulate you because
I believe either Christian, Renee, or Altine, you can introduce yourselves.
Yes, can you
Please
hear
go
me?
ahead.
Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, we can hear you, Christian.
Okay. Sorry. So yes, I was telling like where I was from, what was my pronoun was, and I was congratulating you and welcoming you to this amazing experience and opportunity. As my colleague said before, feel free to ask as many questions as you like. We are gonna help you as much as we can. So welcome all of you. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Renee Duhaney. I'm the country representative for Jamaica. I did the Erasmus Mundus Cyprus program. That's the Masters in Cybersecurity. I graduated December of last year, and I'm here to answer any questions that you have. So ask away in the chat. I'm moderating and responding to all questions, every question.
Hi.
Now we're going to move on to the introductions of the panelists, country and program representatives.
So, hi everyone. My name is Carla Carrillo. I am the CR from Mexico. I have been volunteering since 4 years ago. I graduated in 2019 of MACI, that is a program related with sports ethics and integrity. So I am so happy that you already received this scholar or you have received this opportunity of being an Erasmus Mundus student. So all the best and thank you for joining us.
Hi everyone, my name is Nico Wichmann. I'm currently the EMA representative for Germany and I'm studying the Smart Systems Integrated Solutions Master. I'm in the middle of the program. It's semiconductor manufacturing related. Yeah, I know how excited I was like 1 year ago, so I know how you feel right now. And I wish you all the best for the start of your studies. And yeah, go ahead, ask questions to be prepared and the best way you can.
Hello everyone, I'm Melih Kurtaran and currently I'm volunteering as country representative of Turkey. I graduated in 2023, 2 years ago, from the EDIS program, Data Intensive Intelligent Software Engineering program. And so far, like I'm volunteering in the EMA, and yeah, we prepared a really good the pre-departure orientation for you.
Hi everyone, my name is John Lee. I'm part of the SDSI program, currently going through or starting the second year. I'm from Peru, and I hope you are very ready for this journey. I want to say congratulations to all of you who made it this far. This is a very competitive program, and you should be really proud of yourselves. I hope this talk helps you to be prepared for this journey, and all the best to you.
Hello, everyone. Wow, having 300 people watching us, no pressure, but it's a pleasure from my side. So to be here, I'm Carolina. I graduated in June from the SDSI program. I hope we have new students watching us right now. And of course, as the other colleagues mentioned, feel free to ask us questions. Sometimes some programs are special in their own, but we share the majority that we are all Erasmus Mundus and we are here to help each other out. So welcome to this session.
Hello, everyone. I am Maria Alia Reyes. I am the program representative of Erasmus Mundus Master in Biomedical Engineering, or EM and I just graduated this year. I am originally from the Philippines, and congratulations, everyone, and welcome to this pre-departure orientation.
Thank you so much for introducing yourselves. And now we are going to move on to our warm welcome speeches. Today we have a guest speaker from the Erasmus Mundus Association. The president will share with you a couple of welcome words. And after that, I'm going to show you as well some warm welcome from our director of the Outreach and Capacity Building Unit. Marvi, welcome.
Thank you, Anna, and thank you, everyone. It's so lovely seeing you all. And hello, warm greetings to every one of you, wherever you are joining. I know for some of you, it would be morning, afternoon, or evening, but one thing that connects all of us, that's our Erasmus journey. So congratulations. And it's a great achievement. You must have all worked really hard and must have dreamed really big. Now you are stepping into one step ahead into an adventure. This is going to change your life forever. So, a little bit about myself. I'm a proud graduate of European Masters in Law and Economics. I joined EMA as a volunteer in the project support unit. Then I served on the management board of the EMA as director projects. And today I'm here with you as EMA president. I still remember my own Erasmus journey. I came with 2 suitcases because I have always been an overpacker. So one thing that my Erasmus journey has taught me is to be a minimalist. And so this is just a caution for you to be careful not to overpack. I remember coming to Europe with full of excitement, but I would acknowledge that I was a bit of scared as well. I would say afraid. I was afraid, okay, how will I fit in a completely new setup in Europe? Will I find friends? How will I be able to manage everything on my own? And most importantly, whether I will be able to find an accommodation in Netherlands, because that has been one of the biggest challenges. So, but eventually, once you keep moving on, things started becoming easier. I realized that I wasn't alone. There were many thousands of students with me who were having the same questions, going through the same challenges. But what made a difference, that this community that we now call Erasmus Mundus Association, and all the way this community became a family. It's a family of all the Erasmus Mundus students and alumni. And the kind of support that I received and all of us have received, we are willing and we are offering the same kind of support to all of you. We organize events, mentorship programs, professional opportunities, and do some advocacy as well. But most importantly, we build friendships and networks that are going to last for life. And more importantly, just for your information, EMA is a 100% volunteering organization. So we wouldn't be, I would say, like so perfect, but we try our best. We try our best. Each one of us is dedicating our time and most importantly, trying to help and support you. And this is what we are going to do and we are going to offer to you as well. Here in EMA, you will learn leadership, teamwork, cross-cultural skills that are going to stay with you even beyond your master's program. So today, I would like to invite you all to join EMA, not only as members, but also as contributors, as active contributors, and gain the most out of it, gain most out of this vibrant and meaningful community. So when you are going to begin your Erasmus Mundus journey, remember two things. One, that this is more than just a degree. It's about discovering the world, about building lifelong friendships, and also shaping the future together. And most importantly, wherever you would go, from Asia to Europe, Africa to America, Emma will always be there with you. You will always find somebody from Emma family to be there to support you. So I wish you all the best for your journey. Enjoy the challenges. There will be some hiccups as well, but you will grow, you will learn, celebrate the small victories, and don't forget to stay connected with Emma. We cannot wait to welcome you in our community. Thank you once again, and really a big round of applause for you and congratulations. But first of all, I would like you all to unmute and give a big round of applause for the organizers, Anna, and all the Erasmus Mundus members who have arranged this session for all of you. So a big round of applause. So, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Lovely
you.
seeing you all.
All right. Before moving on, I would just like to remind everyone to please just keep your microphones off. I'm going to, yeah, it should be fine now. But just be careful with the microphone. Thank you. And teams from Anna is the Outreach and Capacity Building Unit Director of the Erasmus Mundus Association. And she's, like all of us, an alumna. For most of us, some are students, some participants today. And she has served in different roles across Erasmus Mundus, including project support officer, country representatives, network coordinator, and now she is the unit's director. So she wants to send you her warm greetings as well. But if you bear with me, I will play the video again. Can you see my screen again?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I don't know what's happening. All right. I'm going to try to keep playing it, but if not, I am going to fix the issue and then share the greetings with you at a later time. So I am going to move on to first introducing you to Emma, and we're going to have a rich discussion with our panelists today. But I wanted to take the opportunity to just introduce Emma to you because many of my colleagues, including myself, came across Emma by accident, or in my case, it was because I just really, when I got the scholarship, I immediately started exploring all the links that I could find. I wanted to be as prepared as I could because I had never traveled outside my country. So I wanted to be as knowledgeable as moving on to a different country, knowing how to get involved in the community. And I want for you to have a different experience. I want for you to know that from the very beginning, you have a broad community that you can count on for questions, for doubts, or if you are ready to really maximize your Erasmus Mundus journey, EMA is the place where you can have a global impact. Your program it starts with a small cohort, but when you're part of EMA, the impact of your projects and your ideas can be worldwide. And this is something that coming from a smaller country for me has become true. So that's why I wanted to make sure that you know about EMA. And this is the official Students and Alumni Association. So all students, whether you got a scholarship or you're self-funded, this is the association where you're part of it already, but there are a couple of steps that you can take to formalize your membership. And EMA was founded by students, by alumni in 2006. We're almost reaching 2 decades of the impact and just building this global community of over 16,000 members in more than 170 countries. So imagine just the kind of, such a dream to be part of such a global network. All of the work that we do is volunteer, and this is why it's so meaningful for us because we wanted to continue our work. We wanted to continue our aspirations beyond our program. And this is very important because we all become ambassadors of our own countries, our traditions, our culture, and we play an active role in the world. So that is why this community is so important and magical. What we do, we spread awareness not just about the master's programs, but also you should know that if you aspire to pursue a PhD in the future, you can also connect with us because then we can point you towards the direction of where you can find scholarships for PhDs as well. We can point you towards other opportunities, traineeships, because Erasmus Plus has many projects. Some of them include traineeships or pay volunteering as well outside of EMA. So these are opportunities that we can share with you. We also support you by giving you guidance and resources. This kind of event, like the PDO, is part of those events. But also after your studies, if you don't know what to do, again, we can point you as part of the community towards what career options you might have, and based on the experience of our alumni. We also, and this is one of my favorite ones, community building. We have a global network, more than 170 countries. When I first became a scholar, I was part of a group of like 10 scholars that year, but we have some countries where maybe only one person got selected for a scholarship. And that one person might feel isolated, might feel alone. But when you become part of EMA, that completely goes away. You start connecting with people from your region or from across the globe, and you start interacting with them for support, for collaboration, for projects. That's how Erasmus Mundus in Central America started. It was just me as a country representative, and then I met with somebody, and he was the one for El Salvador, then somebody else joined, and now Erasmus Mundus Central America has representation in 6 out of 7 countries. So that's how the community building in EMA happens, and it's really incredible. And like I've been mentioned, this keyword, creating global impact. We work on different projects and social initiatives. This is carried out by students and alumni. There are some funding opportunities available, and also some projects that don't require funding, and you just end up doing them with your colleagues, with people from other programs, and you can create global impact. I'm going to show you some of those that we do. But before I move on to that, as part of our community, I just want to reiterate how you can count on us. You can connect with us by joining our online forums, the Erasmus Mundus Association portal, which I'm going to show you because you can join it today immediately. It's free and you just become part of our community more officially. Also on social media, you can take part in professional development events. This is something that many Erasmus Mundus scholars don't know, that even though they're from whatever country they are, if you are a resident, which now you will be, if you are a resident in some countries in the European Union, you can access traineeships. You can go and they fund your participation to other countries and you gain professional experience. So you can grow your career as well. You can lead. I didn't know when I became a scholar that I would be a country representative because I didn't know about EMA until I learned about it. And I asked, is there a representative in my country that can help me? And they said, no, nobody has been there. So I'm like, can I become one? And they said, there is a process you have to follow. You apply. But yes, you can become one. And that's how I became the first country representative of my country. And we expanded into a regional network as well. So you can take the lead and you can be the one making things different for the incoming scholars, helping make things easier for them. And this, of course, is also related to thriving because since I became a country representative, I accessed a broad network with more resources to guide me in how I wanted to lead, what kind of choices I wanted to make after graduation, or somebody in the network knows something about a country that I was struggling with, and they told me, oh, I know someone that can help you. They have information. So it helps you to be part of the community. And like I said, who runs the world, the EMA world? It is run by we call ourselves amazing volunteers. So it's just all the volunteer work that we do. Everybody, I'm actually so thankful that they could make it, all the speakers. It's different time zones and they still said, yes, I'm signing up. I'm going to be there because I want to be there for people. When I was a new scholar, not all of us had that. So we want to make sure you do. And basically, the Erasmus Mundus Association has a management board. It's the directive. They lead everything in the global scale of things. We also have project leaders. We have program representatives, like the ones you have met today, and country representatives as well. And we work closely with the European Commission, the same ones that fund your scholarship, to those of you who have a scholarship. They also fund projects for the Erasmus Mundus Association, so we work closely with them. And that is how we have made it to 19 years of EMA. We have more than 350 volunteers that are 1,000 members, and we want you to help us continue expand this network of students and alumni. And I'm getting very administrative here for a little bit, but it is important for me to tell you that as a student, if you're in a field where you can carry out a project, you have an initiative, you can do it because through the Erasmus Mundus Association, we have access to what's called the ESA projects funding. And if you're a registered member, you can apply for this funding to carry out an impactful initiative in your country of residence as well. You can do it. Like if you're doing a semester in whatever country, you have an idea, you can apply for the grant and then you can materialize that project. So I am not a full expert on how the projects work. Also, I don't want to use all the time for that, but later on, I'm gonna just point you towards where you can find more information about this. But just to show you a bit, these are some of the projects that have been done in the past by our students, alumni, volunteers, and all of them have a common core purpose, which is to have a global impact or a local impact, but we all want to do some sort of impact beyond just our program. So you can check out more projects, you can read more about how to access this funding. If you just scan the QR code, or if you can't scan it right now, it's fine. If you go to the Erasmus Mundus Association website, just browse it on your browser, you will find the information right there. Another one of the events that is funded, for example, by the European Commission, is the General Assembly. This is an annual global event, and this is the one that happened this year in Paris, but every year it happens in a different country. And volunteers, students, alumni from across the globe get together, and they get together to make decisions, to drive the future of EMA, to showcase the projects that they've been doing, all the initiatives that they've been doing, to also present concerns that they have, needs that they have about their countries, about their programs. And this is something that you can also be part of in the future as an EMA member, which is why I would like to invite you to become a member as soon as possible. Again, many students, incoming students, don't realize about this until way later, and they miss out on so many opportunities, growth opportunity, funding projects, because they just don't know about EMA. So for you, I would really like to encourage you to scan the code or just look for EMA becoming a member on your browser, and you will find it. It's really easy. You just have to fill out a form, and then you just have to upload proof that you have been selected as an Erasmus Mundus scholar. That you just have to follow a series of steps, and that's it. And you can also follow us on social media. And on this, where it says members area, this is where you can find everything that you need to know. You can find the EMA membership steps. You can find out, once you're a member, once you have registered as a member, you can find out how to volunteer with us. If you want to become a program representative, or if your country doesn't have a country representative, you can be the first one in your country and make a difference. And in this button here, the My Representative section, this one is very important, because all those questions you have that we're going to try to answer today, all the questions, concerns that you have about your program or the country where you're going, you can find it through us. We won't always have the answer, but we will always try to find somebody, a contact that can help you, that can guide you, or a website where you can find information. So stay connected with us, because you don't have to go alone through this journey. And without further ado, we are going to move on to the most important part of today, which is actually answering all your questions. But before that, I just want to do a quick icebreaker. So I put two truths and a myth, Erasmus Mundus version. I would like for some of you to either unmute yourself or write it in the chat, just what you think is a truth or a myth of the Erasmus Mundus journey. I'll start with a myth, for example. Erasmus Mundus is all about partying and just enjoying your life, traveling in Europe. That's definitely a myth. You can definitely have fun during your Erasmus Mundus journey, but as someone who maximized her Erasmus Mundus experience, I can tell you, you can do a lot professionally. For example, I participated in international conferences. I published papers with my professors, so I did a lot, and I'm really happy for that. So let's see if anybody wants to turn on their microphones and share a myth or a truth. Somebody says that it's half truth. I agree. It depends on the person. I think that's the actual answer. It depends on the person. If you want to maximize your experience, believe me, you can. Um, but I also traveled a bit. I had never left my country, so it was exciting for me to find out, oh, with just, I don't know, 20, 30 pounds or 30 euros, I can go to another country for a weekend. To me, that was insane. So it was really fun. Okay. Does anybody else have any truth or myths to share that they have heard about the Erasmus Mundus journey? Okay, I think not. I think everybody's just excited to get into the questions. So let's get going. And I'd like to welcome our moderators and panelists. And I would just like to do a quick poll with the participants as they get ready. And I have a question for you. What is your biggest concern about arriving in your new country? Whatever your first country is, what is your biggest concern right now? Is it the visa and residence permits? Is it how to live with the amount of stipend that you're getting? Is it the day-to-day practicalities? Just put the number 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Is it health and safety? Something else? If it's something else, just let us know what that is. Lots of people are more concerned about the day-to-day practicalities. And we hope that with today's discussion, some of those concerns will go away. We'll try our best. All right, I'd like to welcome our moderators and panelists. Go ahead, please. It should work now, Reagan.
Hi, everyone. Hope you can hear me from this end.
Yes, can hear you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Anna. That's quite insightful. And I'd like to, again, give a warm warm welcome to all our participants today, as well as also those who will be, of course, sharing some important insights in terms of, helping our participants, that is the newly selected cohort, to the Erasmus Mundus family. So, yes, I am joined with Jane and Duta, who is also one of the panelists today. So she will be also collaborating with me to also, of course, coordinate these upcoming sessions. And at this moment, at this juncture, I just want to welcome Carla, Nico, and Melly to join me in this segment, where we'll be, of course, asking them a few questions in order, help our new students some information that can be helpful in their journey as they engage in the Erasmus Mundus journey. So I'll just jump in, I believe, to ask maybe one question to our panelists. So I will start maybe with Carla. And I want to ask you maybe a question regarding the pre-departure and packing. And I believe this is something that, of course, a lot of us will be quite interested to know. What should I bring? What should I leave behind as I embark on my journey? So, Carla, can you please help us answer this question? So, what's one item you pegged that turned out to be surprisingly useful, or that turned out to be totally unnecessary during your journey as an Erasmus Mundus student?
Okay, I will say definitely ingredients or food instead of clothes. Why? That will be like, what do you mean? Because sometimes, for example, in Mexico, we don't have good gloves, or, well, we think that we have, but we don't really know the cold that we are going to face. So I will highly recommend to go to secondhand shops or to go to different shops when you are already in the country to buy your your clothes for cold weather. And also something that I will not recommend for girls especially will be high heels. I don't know if another of our CRs or PRs can share with me this opinion, but I think that Europe is not made for high heels. So I will recommend to bring something else. Could sound something simple, but it's not, I promise you. And also, because I prefer ingredients over clothes, because it's not that easy sometimes to find the food that you like, the sauces that you like, or something like that. So even when Turkish food stores are really good for Latin American countries and African countries, are not the things that you really like. So I will say that.
That's fantastic. So if I if I understand you clearly, so you'd recommend rather that people should desist maybe from taking too many clothes, but rather buy those that are more accustomed to the area or place where they'll be going, right? Isn't it?
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Sometimes, sorry, because it's so early for me. So maybe my English is gonna be a little damaged, but yeah, exactly. That's what I try to say. Like, it's better if you bring more the things that you really like or need or you used in your daily life instead of clothes. And yeah, I promise you that you are going to find a lot of good stores. And as I said, second-hand stores, it's something huge in Europe that you really can take advantage of it.
Mhm. And just maybe just to put it a little bit also again maybe to Melly. So Melly, hope you can hear me. So this question now, it's a little bit of a follow-up as well. Maybe you can put a little bit of some info to it. Where are there any cultural or climate specific items that you could say maybe students should consider bringing based on their host country? So I believe, of course, if you are someone who is like myself, who is coming out from outside Europe, are there something in particular maybe that you can maybe say this could be useful or essential?
Yeah, the thing happened to me actually. I spent my first semester in Finland and it even reached like below minus 20 degrees. And in my second year, I moved to Spain, to Mallorca, Palma de Mallorca, and it was like sunny beach city. So I actually lived in like two different ages in Europe and seen two different parts as well. When I was going to Finland, I knew that yeah, it's gonna be very cold. I needed to like bring a lot of stuff, but I still bought a lot of new jackets and new boats as well there because they were not enough. So I definitely agree, Carla, that we can find some stuff, some clothes over there, and especially the things that they sell there are like specific to there, like specific to their climate. So I believe we can find them there.
Biraz daha salata yiyecek bir tabak var mı?
Evet, olması lazım. Someone asked something.
I would kindly ask that anyone who is unmuted can mute themselves, please. Thank you. Okay, so that's quite very helpful, and I'll jump also to Nico.
Salatanı kendine fazla
Hello.
koy. Ben çok salatalık sevmiyorum. Tamam. İyi mi bu kadar sana? Yeterli. Çok anlaştım.
Sorry,
can I-
Biraz salatada salatalık
huh?
olmaz. Olur olur. Yani
Just
kadar
a reminder to everyone, please, to keep your microphones off. Thank you so much. Just be careful, please. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. And yeah, so moving, Nico, yes. So I also have a question for you. It's to do with, I would say, maybe to do with cultural preparation and networking. So what helped you overcome cultural shock in the first few weeks of the country that you went first? I believe you're from Germany, and maybe you can share maybe a little bit about the country that you first arrived in, and of course how you managed to overcome some cultural shock in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, sure. So my first semester took place in Finland, like with Millie, where it got very, very cold. So definitely item was winter jacket. Yeah, and I encountered like a couple of small things I was just not expecting, like as it's a little different. I met many different people in my cohort. There's people from 20 different countries. And I just step by step encounter little things. For example, one thing I just have in mind right now, like the typical small talk, how are you in German? It's like wie geht's? And it's like alles gut, it's like a yes, no question in German. And every time someone approached me in Finland and was like, hey, how are you? I was like, okay, that's not a question I can answer with yes or no. So I went like for a full text answer, but that's not required. It's like you can just say, yeah, all right, how about you? And like took me like a week to check that. How are you doesn't require me to answer like a full sentence and make everyone stop and interrupt where they're going actually right now. Like those small things, just be conscious that those little differences are there. Don't take everything like personal if you're like confused sometimes maybe, or especially Germans are like supposed to be very punctual. I've heard a lot from my classmates, and that's also a very different thing. Like some people are not very punctual, some people are over punctual. Yeah, just embrace the differences. Don't judge super fast or something. If you may be disappointed by something, just embrace it, and it's going to be all right. But be open to, yeah, meet those differences. I think that's my advice.
And what can you say maybe also regarding maybe trying to connect with locals as well as also other Erasmus Mundus students in that regard?
Yeah, for sure. What we did in our cohort to connect with each other, to get to know each other, we did like international potlucks. So some people brought some food from their home country as well. And we did like cooking together. Everyone brought a little dish and we did like a potluck all together, and everyone introduced their food, and some people gave us more presentation about their countries and their cultures. It was super nice to get to know each other. So I recommend that idea if you're interested. Yeah, and pretty much in the first semester, all of us were very busy getting to know each other. So we, in Finland, for example, we didn't meet that many other internationals on campus because we were very busy getting to know each other in our cohort. Yeah, but just don't lock yourself in your room, of course. Go towards your other classmates, ask them where they're from. If you want to cook together, just go towards them. Yeah, be the one get to know everyone to fully embrace into the EMA experience.
I can also add on that. I actually like had some friends from ESN as well. In ESN, there are also Erasmus students who are going for exchange for only 1 semester or 2 semesters. And when I tell them I am also Erasmus Mundus student and I'm also changing countries, like most of them, they don't know the difference. They just say that, oh, you are Erasmus as well. And we have these parties, these events, and some trips as well. Usually, like the country, the city that you go has a ESN section as well, and they are organizing lots of events, lots of trips. So I was participating those events as well, and I was meeting lots of Erasmus students as well, lots of other friends as well. You definitely you will meet with your like Erasmus cohort, your friends from the same degree, and some other Erasmus Mundus programs as well. But you can also go for ESN events and meet some other international students as well.
For sure, like ESN is also a great point to go to. And very often, for example, in my Norwegian semester, they didn't have the Erasmus Mundus people in mind because they're like at those, okay, Erasmus, because for many Europeans in the European countries, like Erasmus is this exchange semester, 1 semester, and Erasmus Mundus is sometimes kind of unknown, especially for the international coordinators at university from the student side. So yeah, approach them, tell them you're there as well if they don't approach you proactively, and that's also a great place to attend events and nice trips for sure.
That's really awesome. I don't know if Carla, you have something that you want to add regarding to that.
Yes, also I will say that if you need to find some support and everything, because also this is part of the multiculturalism in Erasmus Mundus, that is really nice. Also, you can ask for some advice from people from your country. I was telling to the Mexicans that we are everywhere, and I'm sure that you can find people from your country in that country that you are. So they are going to help you to ask, for example, some stuff regarding I'm back again with food, or where you can find something, how you can ask for a stick, for a meat, for something. They're going to help you, and in that way also you can ask like, hey, where can I go to exercise? Where can I go for a hiking or something? And you are going to find more people there. So, as Nico said, I will totally agree with. First of all, be open with everyone. And second, don't take anything personal. All of us ask the same thing in different ways. So just don't think that they are trying to hurt you, they are being rude or anything. Maybe are just sometimes it's just the language. Remember that the first year, especially some of us didn't take any lesson in English before, only English lessons. So we are translating our mind every day. So just just be friendly, be patient, so patient with you and with others around you, and you are going to be more than great, and you are going to enjoy your Erasmus Mundus journey. That is not easy. Also, I will say that it's not easy that you will be moving from one country to another, even when sounds great. And I promise you that it's great. It's not easy, but it's totally worthy.
Yes, and so I also have like a question. So this now pertains to issues to do with, like life essentials. Let's look at maybe things to do with like finding accommodation, because I believe for a lot of folks it can be a little bit difficult to find accommodation in the destination country they will be going to. Is there anything you guys can share? Maybe some things you can share, some tips regarding finding accommodation before arriving in the country, and also if there are any maybe apps or websites that may have helped you to settle in faster that you can or could also share based on your experience?
Well, I will say one. Well, first, go to look for for Facebook groups. You just need to go to Google Translate and look for the word of rents or mobility in the language that you are going to join, in German, in Finnish, I don't know, up to the country that you are going to arrive. And for example, I learned that is in German Gesug, and Nico can correct me. But if you look for the city and the word that you are looking, you are going to find a lot of options there. Second one, look for websites as well. I will be so much happy to share, but I don't really know because there are so many, and in every country you are going to find different websites. But first of all, go to your university recommendations. In some countries, like for example in Belgium, in Leuven, they all the places that you can rent as a student has an alliance or an agreement with the university. So all of them, private or public, that are related exactly that are dorms that owns the university. All of them are related with the university. Just go with your university first, but also take another options like Facebook groups or websites.
Yeah, maybe I can add.
And,
oh, sorry.
Oh, you can go ahead, please. I just wanted to say that, yeah, if anyone wants to add something, sure.
Sure. I encountered very different processes to find accommodation in my three universities. I was in Finland first, for example, and it was a little bit chaotic. You had to be a little flexible about what you get. And at some point, the student association offered something, but you had to be flexible. Is it a shared living? Is it an apartment on your own? You had kind of to take what you get because the market was there was a high demand. So maybe be a little flexible, especially if you're in a place where that is known for being super, super demanded in terms of accommodation. In Norway, my university was providing everything. I just filled a form and they sorted everything. And now in Budapest, in my next semester, they basically told us, do whatever you want. We can unfortunately not support you with accommodation. So I went on myself on the internet to search. For example, now I found accommodation on Housing Anywhere, but it's just one website out of many. Facebook groups is also a thing, although I have heard that people have been scammed there, so be careful about that. Just don't send money easily to some person. Just be a little mindful. It can happen. Yeah, but that's also a good thing. And very often people, especially in Hungary, I figured out, don't rent for 6 months if it's just one semester. So yeah, my best advice would be especially start early. That's probably the best thing you can do, like start early enough to start searching. And yeah, it's going to take some effort depending on the country. Sometimes it's super organized by universities, and sometimes you're pretty much on your own. Talk with your classmates if you have a group chat. Maybe you can have a shared living. Yeah, and start early.
Awesome. I think there is one thing that stands out there to say, please don't get scammed, folks. Scamming is there. I think try by all means not to get scammed. If you are not sure, I think it's great to really, seek advice, seek guidance, and ask for support. I believe also CRs, country representatives from your respective country, program representatives from EMA, they can also be gratefully helpful. And guys, I also I have another question. It's regarding one of the greatest challenges that normally students from outside Europe face. It's to do with visa issue. As CRs, I believe you normally have requests from for help regarding visa issues. What can you share regarding visa issues?
First of all, I will say that it's different from all of us. For all of us, like totally different. During my cohort, well, in my cohort, I have a classmate from oh my God, I forgot. He was not from Kazakhstan. Well, I'm going to remember now. And Azerbaijan, sorry. And he had a lot of troubles with visas. And for me, for Mexico was kind of easy. But also in this PDO, I met some students that they have some issues with visas in different countries, and that's when I was looking for some advice in the group, like, hey, are you having the same issues with your students this year? So I will say that it's not the same from all of us, for all of us, but definitely I will highly recommend to stay in touch with your European delegation. They are going to be a good guidance. Also try to reach the embassies in your country that are in your country, or the one that are closest to you. Or especially, I will again highly recommend to go to get your visa in the country that you are now. For example, if your first country is in Spain and the next one is Germany, go to the German embassy in Spain. Don't go back to your country and then try to figure out all the things there. I will say that try to fix it and to get your next visa in the country that you are already.
So it's basically not necessary for someone who already has moved to a European country during their studies to go back home to actually apply for a visa for the next country, isn't it?
Exactly, it's not necessary. So if you don't have to go back, if you are not gonna be there for holidays, visiting or something, just try to do it in a country that you are already.
Awesome.
Can I
That
also
is really helpful. Yeah.
Can I
Sure,
also
go ahead.
mention something about visas? So I also had someone from Nicaragua. We were both from the same country, but we approached the visa things differently. I got my student visa, which was allow me to have a residency in my first country, which was the UK. And my colleague from Nicaragua, because she was visa exempt, she just entered the country as a tourist, and then she tried to do the switch to the student visa. But because of how we did things differently, in the end, I was allowed to extend my visa as a graduate. Once I finished my program, I was allowed to extend my stay for a little bit in case I wanted to pursue a job or something. But in her case, because she didn't do that student visa process, she was not allowed to do it. So it's very important that you start thinking ahead of your plans after you graduate. If you want to pursue professional opportunities, or if you just want to have the visa because you might need it for some training or whatever reason, it's very important that you read the small letter and that you look if you're following the right procedure. That's very important when you're doing visa processes. Yeah, I just wanted to leave this there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anna, for that input, actually. And I mean, just to wrap up, because for the sake of time, I do have maybe like two last questions that I would like to ask the panelists here. So one, I believe, is to do with issues to do with opening a bank account, because I believe for most you are required to have a bank account, a European bank account. And not everyone can actually easily have a bank account being opened. I believe from my cohort, there was one where there's some weird challenges in opening a bank. Are there any recommendations or something that you may be aware of that can be helpful regarding bank accounts?
I would say that there are a lot of options, Revolut, Wise, and 26, and there are like a lot of applications, not just like banking applications, but there are like some digital money applications as well. Revolut used to be that one. Right now, it's a bank. You can do anything, and I think it's the easiest one to open. And like depending on your country, it's asking the specific documents for you. So it's telling you you can open with your D visa, you can open with your residence permit and your like citizenship from that country. So depending on your conditions, depending on your like nationality and so on, you can apply for that. For my case, I even got opened my bank account both in Revolut and N26 even before going to Europe. Because I already got my residence permit, but even if I get a D type visa, I was able to open it. They just ask you a address in the country that you are going. You can just provide it if you already have the accommodation and you can open the bank account. I think it's easier, but you might have some problems as well. So it is definitely a good idea to bring some cash with you as well. I brought a lot of cash with me actually. And when I was in Finland, I opened a bank account in Finland as well. And when I had the bank account there, I just like deposit my cash to the bank. So it was okay. But it was a really good idea to bring some cash with me because there might be some problems. You could open a bank account and suddenly it might stop working. They can ask for some more verifications. You never know. So definitely bring some more cash and start looking the applications that you can find. I already named some of them, but there are a lot of applications, banking applications.
Awesome. And anyone to add on that?
I could add on that. I can also say for my cohort that Revolut was the platform that was established like right from the beginning, like because it also works pretty well to split bills and send money to each other. It's kind of like PayPal, if some of you know that. So we use that pretty much. And I can say for those of you who are like from a European country, you're pretty well suited already with your existing bank account as it's within the European Union bank account, unless you need to send money to, for example, Norway, which is not European Union, but in the European Economic Area. And for those kind of transfers, I recommend also Wise because I encountered they have the lowest fees for those conversion stuff. Yeah, but double check, have a look at that. And for our university, we had to provide the European bank account number, like an IBAN for the scholarship payment. And Revolut was the easiest and fastest one to open to receive the scholarship fast because there was, yeah, we had to open something fast, or many of my classmates, in order to receive the money. And that was the fastest option. So that's my personal recommendation.
Splendid. So yeah, I hope you can hear, folks, that I think key takeaways that of course you do have options regarding banking. So I think some that stand out here, it's Revolut and Wise. So you could actually check with Revolut and Wise if you are not sure. I'm sure these banks, even for myself, I've used as well. They could be quite helpful for you, and indeed they can work across Europe. So lastly, I mean, I just want to ask, so of course I saw also previously in the chat, there was a question regarding, health services and health insurance. So I understand a lot of Erasmus Mundus programs, they provide health insurance. But is there anything specific that you guys would want to add regarding health insurance as well as also access to health services within respective countries during Erasmus Mundus, the Erasmus Mundus programs?
Hello. Sorry.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, I will just have some advice like in this question. So just will use your health insurance. I was 2 years there and I just used it like once, but the health insurance is really like, let's say, practical. And wherever you feel bad or you really like feel like you need to go to the doctor, it's easy to go and call them, and they even make the appointments even to pay. You just have to do the coordination through the appointment. And yes, that's my advice, because we pay for this insurance, and sometimes like I have friends like they didn't even use it even any single time. So yes, use it. That's it.
Yeah, I will
Thank you,
say,
Christian.
supporting Christian, I will say read your insurance, what the cover of your insurance, because especially scholars, Erasmus Mundus scholars are the one who receive that kind of insurance, and it's a really good insurance. I will say read about it, because you can find, for example, when I was my insurance covers if I lost my glasses, if I lost my luggage in one trip, if I have to go back because of mental health, or if I got injured, they can bring someone from my family to take care of me to the country where I will be for a month or something like that. I will say just read about it, and also try to find how works the health system in the country where you are going to be, because especially, for example, in Belgium, in Leuven, the university has some clinics that you can visit, and you can go there and have a medical attention there. But in Germany it was different, because the hospitals were not related with the university, were totally like independent. And I had some issues because I didn't know how that works, and they gave me some appointment for 1 month later, uh, after I asked it. So yeah, I will say just try to find how it works, because for me that was the experience. But for other classmates, for example, when they need some medical attention as well in Germany, they find someone like immediately to help them. So just try to be informed when you arrive, or even before, asking to some of your classmates or people from your country that are living in that country, as I said. So try to be just prepared and read everything.
Splendid. So yeah, I don't know if Nico or Meli, if there anyone wants to add anything else. Otherwise, we wrap up our session for
I
this
can add
segment, rather.
shortly. I can add
Yes,
shortly. I use
go
my
ahead.
health insurance. It was provided from my program, and like even like without insurance, you could get some like support. Some like you can go to hospital and use it. Usually they allow, but with your health insurance, you can go to private hospital and you can get an immediate treatment. So I went to a private hospital. Like even I paid like more than 300 euros for my visit, but then I just filed a document to my insurance company and they covered everything and they sent me the money in just 1 week. So you can use that. And if you are a self-funded student or like you don't have any insurance, I can also recommend Revolut on that. If you get the Revolut premium subscription for 10 euros per month, I guess, it is also giving you a really good global insurance for Europe and like for UK as well. So you could check on that if you don't have any health insurance.
Splendid. And just to add on that, I believe also like I had my experience in France. So in France, there's what they call, I think, carte vitale. So please, for those who would be studying France, you can check that out. There is also like a health insurance service in France that could also complement, I believe, with what you receive from the Erasmus Mundus program. So we charged about health insurance. So just also feel free to, of course, reach out to your given health insurance company in case you have any questions. They would always be happy to, I think, provide you with any clarity that you may need. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and wishing you all well in that regard. So this wraps, I believe, part of this segment. And now we, of course, move to another segment on this session. Thank you so much for your attention. Cheers.
Thank you so much, Reagan. And we're now going to move on to a more the academic aspects of it, the career professional opportunities. And for this, we have our amazing program representatives from the SDSI program and Enviome, the Enviome program. And our moderator is Jane. So welcome to this new segment.
Thank you very much, Anna, and thank you everybody for staying on. I know it's maybe afternoon, morning, or evening, wherever you are, and this information might be quite a lot. So please take a minute, maybe take a few notes here and there, so that you don't forget these things, because there are several of them. But I will tell you from experience that once you will cross the bridge when you get there for some of them, and you will remember the notes that you took on this particular session, and you can always watch back, really, so that you can remind yourself just in case you forget. So thank you so much once again for staying on. Once again, my name is Jane Wambura, and I am originally from Kenya and currently in Lisbon. And so if you happen to show up in Lisbon, please feel free to reach out. Now, we're going to go to a very excellent session, and I would love for you to once again take notes, ask all the questions, because this is going to really answer the question of also what next after Erasmus. The 2 years go very, very, very fast. And today we will have the program representatives. And then if you are actually wondering who are the program representatives from Erasmus Mundus Association, their main job is to be the contact person, or the point of contact really between your EMJM, the students, the alumni, the course coordinators, as well as the association. And they are one of the biggest pillars of the association, and they advocate for the students and alumni of their course. And obviously, if you find that your course doesn't have a program representative, this will be your excellent opportunity to be the advocate, if you may. And so today, obviously, we will be joined by two excellent program representatives, Maria and Carolina, and we will segment this section into two in the interest of time. And so first of all, please introduce yourselves and tell us your names, your EMJM program, as well as your country of origin. Maria?
Okay. Thank you, Miss Jane. So I am Maria Alia Reyes. I am originally from the Philippines, and my program is Erasmus Mundus Master in Biomedical Engineering, or EMBio. And my university is a University of Kragujevac in Serbia, University of Patras in Greece, and University of Medicine and Pharmacy Gregory Tipopa in Romania. And I just recently graduated, just last month.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us. And then we have Carolina.
Hello again, everyone. Very happy to be here. So I'm Carolina. I'm from Portugal. I've been chatting also about that. Great that you're in Lisbon, Jane. Amazing. Good to hear. So I actually also graduated in June from SDSI, which means Service Design Strategies and Innovations. I'm also here with John. As you can see in the photo, is also a year 2 student. SDSI is operating in Latvia for the first year, and then in Finland and Estonia. And you can choose also your own path between these, the second year, if you go Finland first or Estonia first. And about my experience, so I did that. I went to Finland first, and then I had the full winter experience, and I shared that also with Nico and Meli, quite cold. But it was really fun. And as well for Estonia, then that was the semester of the thesis, but I guess we're gonna go through that in a second. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carolina. And we have John. Sorry, I didn't see your name previously, but please introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. Well, my name is John. I'm part of the SDSI program right now, going through the second year. I'm also an EMA volunteer. And yeah, with Carolina, we've been in contact. We talk about the program. We're here to answer all the questions about it.
Excellent. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. And so we will get right into it because this is going to be a lot. And in the first place, we will tackle academic and administrative focus, where we want to know what to expect. So if you guys could indulge us, if you briefly touch on the importance of having essential academic documents, especially before, someone joins in their program. This is very important. For example, acceptance letters, transcripts, and so on and so forth. So Maria, if you could join in the discussion, or maybe Carolina or John, whoever wants to go first, please.
Okay, thank you. I can take that. So having the document ready with you is very important because we're going to go to different countries. And our countries, for example, for me, I came from Southeast Asia and it's far. You need 1 day or more to travel. So it's impossible to just take the documents from my country and then just bring to my mobility country. So having it is important. So instead of stressing yourself, thinking about how to get these, how to get that, it's essential to have it, the paper, and then you can focus on your academics or spend time with your colleagues or even travel around Europe. So preparing them in advance also can save your money. So in my knowledge, maybe some people can relate to this, that some government, they charge higher fees for the government issued documents if you request them while you're living in abroad. And sometimes also additional paperwork for the legal representative is required to get them instead of you personally. So that's it for me. So maybe my colleague can add more.
I would say that sometimes, and John, feel free to fill me in at any moment. For example, to have apostolated, I think this is the word in English, copies of your documents, this costs money. Some application require this, and you might need sometimes to travel with these authentic copies of documents that you have. But this is something that sometimes in your own country, this might be cheaper than you actually go and in the mobility and then ask for those. So I would say some programs might require this, maybe even before in the application. But if you can travel with some copies of your passport, for any reason you might need, and for example, you don't have to carry a passport all along. You might have just a copy of it while you go here and there, so you don't have to carry the document with you all the time. For security reasons, that's a good tip. But I would say to have some copies of documents that your coordinators might be already asking you. In the case of our program, we are very connected to our coordinators. If you don't have this relationship with the coordinators of your Mundus program, I would say that you should know from them what you need to bring in advance. As Maria said, you prepare that in advance from your country, as you might have higher fees if you need to do something within the mobility countries.
Yeah, I will also say that everything you need to carry with you, the coordinators should know. So you should be in contact with them. There must be some kind of communication between you and the program before you go and take your first flight to Europe. So be on the hand for that. Also try to connect with other people that have been already in the program. Ask them questions. If you don't have a community, try to get them through LinkedIn or to the web pages of the programs usually have their alumni there. So ask questions, especially if there's people from your country, because this is very specific from country to country and also from program to program. So we cannot answer you exactly what you need to bring, but I can advise you to reach out because it's very important that you have all your documents ready before you step on that plane. So you don't have to go to the embassies, or sometimes you have to get back to get some papers, and it becomes a mess. So yeah, very, very important to be really on the hunt for these documents and be ready. Be sure that you have everything so you can enjoy your time and not have to stress about it.
Excellent points there, guys. So I do believe that, the general process of university registration can be quite a make or break sometimes, depending on when you arrive and, how fast it's going to take place. So if you guys could indulge us with the general process of the registration, what can people expect, accessing the student resources and so on? If any one of you would go.
Okay, so I will take that. So once you arrive in your mobility country or university, I think the first people that you should look for are your coordinators, because they are the ones talking to you beforehand. They are the ones who knows you, and they are responsible for you, and they need to be aware that you are already arrived. So for the procedure, it was just very smooth in our case. So it could be different from program to program, but usually you just need to sign your Erasmus Mundus document or the contract, and you need to carefully read the rules and conditions, because I was talking with my other colleagues in other programs, especially my other program representative, and we have different conditions when it comes to stipends as well for how long we are going to receive it. So you need to understand the conditions, read it thoroughly with yourself before you sign everything, So for the student ID, it's also different from university to university. In our case, we have three different IDs from, of course, different universities. And usually you can take it from the secretary of your department or faculty where your program is assigned or based. And then once you enrolled, you will get email address, and you will have access to their facilities, such as also internet, other services, maybe cafeteria in other universities, and also library resources. Sometimes they require a separate ID for that, or your library ID. And then I just want to add the student ID is powerful, because we are students, and we have usually discounts for the transportation. So you should bring it with yourself also.
Building on what Maria just said, we also had one student card per country and per university. For example, in the case of Finland, they are very digital friendly. So the student card is actually an app, and you access the card within the app. So you carry it in your phone, so you don't have a physical card. But for example, for Latvia, we had also the Isaac card, which has a specific type of discounts for students. But also, for example, Estonia, they gave us the student card from the university. So it was more specific to the university itself. Yeah, I do agree that it's one of the best tools we have in our pockets to get discounts. And in some countries, for example, to reach local museums, or getting in touch through the more artistic side of it, you can use the cards to get the discounts. Or in the case of Finland, for example, some museums are even for free because they have these partnerships, and also in Estonia. Um, but yes, I think what Maria was saying in the beginning as well, the relationship that you have with your coordinators, it's something that, for example, at SDSI, we even call, in our case, Christine, our mom in a way, because she actually goes with us to register for getting all the visas. In my case, as I'm from Portugal doing mobility in European countries, I didn't have to go myself with her, because within the EU is a different way, but as the majority of you here are from non-EU countries and coming to Europe, in our case, our coordinator is the person that also speaks the local language. This is very important, that you have sometimes with you someone that speaks the local language, as might not all the countries speak the best English when it comes to public services. But John, maybe you can elaborate on that, as you had to go with Christine doing this procedure to get your visa to be in Latvia, as far as I know.
Yeah, I can share a little bit about my experience. In terms of university, I think our process was very seamless. The university take care of registering us in all three sites, and we just have to go through the process of getting our emails, maybe our users and that kind of thing. But we didn't have to do any paperwork to be registered in the universities per se. And in terms of the visa, in my case, coming from Peru, I had access to the Schengen area without a visa. So I enter and then I process my residence permit with the help of the coordinators in the university. Of course, you have to be sure you have the right papers for it. That's getting back to the first point, like be sure you have everything you need with you. But yeah, it depends a lot on which country you came from and your program. So again, be in touch with your coordinators. They are the ones who know what the process is. They've done it 100 times before. You should trust them to be ready to guide you through it.
I just remember a good tip, remembering the student cards. Take pictures, the travel size, like 6, maybe it's a good number, so you can have them in the student cards. Some of these cards are, again, still physical, so they require, I was seeing in the chat some people asking about the ESN card, which is another student's card. Bring printed pictures of yourself, like passport styles, so you might use them, and they might be also cheaper from your home countries, and bring them with you for the paperwork. It's something I remembered.
Excellent points. And actually, I just remembered from my program where I would milk all the discounts, from the transport to housing to discounts when shopping, museums, etc. So this is an excellent point. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing. And I think we need to speak about the biggest hurdle that is within Erasmus, which is the mobility. Moving from one place is not a very easy thing, from one place to the other, from one city to the other, and back and forth for 2 good years is not easy. So could you please maybe indulge us in the general structure of the mobility path and what to expect, how to prepare for a seamless transition, because you've already mentioned a little bit about the visas, but there's also accommodation, there's the culture, the weather, the language. It's a lot. So if you guys could indulge us.
Okay, so for the seamless academic mobility, I recommend to plan ahead. You can check each university's academic calendar, because there are some universities where they start earlier. You have some, gap days to do travel or do something for workshop, for example. And this also allows you to estimate when you should finish your exams from the former university, and also enough time to travel, because as a Gen Z, we are sometimes sponty. We just do whatever we think at the moment. But in case of Erasmus Mundus, planning ahead will definitely, you will have the cheaper flight, or even by land if you travel by bus or train, especially here in Europe. And also, it is also important because there are some countries, for example, in our case, our first mobility was Serbia, and Serbia is not either part of Schengen or European Union. So we need to have our Greek visa, our second mobility country, and we were not allowed to travel by land. So our only option was to travel by flight. To get a cheaper flight, And lastly, I can also recommend to travel together. It would make you easier, fun, more convenient, and to explore together or lost together or find a way to go to your city together. I can also add that, for example, in our case, we had this bus trip for 31 hours. So, sometimes you can get asleep and you need some other people or someone to look for your things to not get lost of it. So, these are just my recommendations.
I can add some on top of Maria's ones. For example, SDSI operates in Latvia, Finland, and Estonia, which are countries that are quite next to each other. But of course, going from the world to these countries might be a journey. So the majority of our students flied. And then, as in Latvia, we are in a small little city called Kuldiga. You have to go there by bus, the public bus. There's no other option. But then I remember the struggle when having a lot of luggage. So I share a bit what our president Marvi shared, that sometimes we are overpacking and we have a lot of things with us. So I remember that when I arrived in the bus in Latvia, I had another student helping me with my luggage to carry it to my apartment because I didn't really know the distances. So I would say if you can do some Google Maps work, that you can measure some distances and see how is it the logistics of arriving to the country and then reaching your accommodation. This, I would say, it's a great tip. But of course, there are some countries that are more green travel friendly. In the case of Northern Europe, that's the case. So, for example, when I moved from Finland to Estonia, I did a night train that took 12 hours, but then I didn't have any limitations on the luggage. But of course, I had to go with some people and we were helping each other out to do the mobilities. And this was really nice because you could support each other if you have more things than others. I think, Jane, you mentioned also the food aspect. I would say it's one of the things that we get the taste of culture as well by the food. So I recommend everyone to check this website. It's called Taste Atlas. So you can check the country and you see the most popular dishes. And throughout your mobility, you can also have a taste on those in the local restaurants. I think it was one of my favorite ways to understand a bit more the local cultures. And also you might have some people within your class that are from the countries you do the mobilities. In our case, or at least in my cohort, we had Finnish, Latvian, and Estonian, so they also could guide you to the good ones. So if that's the case in your program, that you have people from those countries, they are the best advisors because they are in your class, so they're going to do the mobility with you, and you might be lucky that they know the country way better because they're from there. So also, I could recommend as well that if so you have the summer between year 1 and year 2, and some people and some of you might not go home. So actually what to do once the school year is over, like around June, until again maybe September, August, September. So what do you do with your things? So in our case, we rented this storage companies that you could rent for a month, for example, or 2 months. And you might want to leave those big things in these facilities, and then you travel light throughout the summer by bus or by train. So you don't have to carry everything with you everywhere you go. Because for people like me, for example, that was a bit of a tricky situation. So I was always sending boxes home and these kind of things. But John, I don't know about you, how you are dealing now with this, because you're going now to the year 2. So what is it like?
Yeah, I have a couple of things to say about mobility because of course we all love to travel. I think people that go through Erasmus, they have this passion for traveling and meeting new cultures and new countries. But this is not vacation. It's not the same packing for vacation and packing for your whole life. So I will highly recommend to don't bring too much stuff, just because Europe is very beautiful, but at the same time, it's not very friendly for bags and luggages. Usually, a lot of places there are like pebble stones, there are like stone floors, and it's really hard if you only have two hands and you have 3 4 bags to go push around things, getting things into a bus or into the plane, paying the extra weight of the. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of work. So be very mindful with what you bring with you. Only bring what's absolutely necessary to you. You will learn to be very minimalist with all of this. And yes, like storing your stuff for the summer, it's a great option. You will be homeless. You will have no home during summer because your rental agreement ends. You will have to sign up another one in another country. So you will have this time where you can go home, of course. But if you want to explore Europe, that's a great thing to do also. And you can leave your stuff or send your stuff in boxes, and then you can pick them up later. It's a lot of logistics. You will have to do it on your own. This is not a thing that the universities take care for you. So you have to be mindful of that. And yes, please don't bring too much stuff. That's my best advice.
Excellent advice, guys. And I also remember that I used to stock flights on Skyscanner. etc, and also you send my bag service to send your luggage. But I mean, it really depends on what works for you. So thank you so much, guys, for letting us in on that. We will go to the next section. I know it's quite a long session, but please bear with us and keep on asking the questions that you want answered in this session. So the next section is going to also be quite important because it's about maximizing the academic journey of your Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters program. And I know this is one of the major questions that is always asked, does Erasmus owe me a job, an internship, etc. But this is going to have to be your really good work to do in terms of upskilling and making sure that things are in place. So let's discuss about how people can actually leverage, elective courses, things like summer courses, research opportunities, and how can this align with their career goals? Because this is one of the major questions. As much as you'll have fun, the main reason you're here is to actually, elevate your career. So even one of you would go ahead and share some tips. I know John is still studying, but still, I know you have quite a lot to share, but please go ahead and share.
So in my case, for this summer, I just did a summer school. That's an option that a lot of people usually take because this is a period where a summer school could take maybe 1, 2, or 3 weeks, and then you still have time to decompress and to enjoy a little bit of your vacations. That's also an advice, like don't overbook yourself, don't burn out yourself trying to get everything, trying to be part of every course, trying to be part of every volunteering, because at the end you're gonna end up exhausted, and that's not the point of this. Be very mindful about what you're picking, have a plan for what you want to do with your Erasmus program. Like at the end, what's your goal? You're gonna go back to your country. You're gonna try to find a job here. You're gonna try to go for a PhD. There's different paths to this, and you have to be really clear about what you want so you can strategically pick what's most helpful for you. Summer schools are an excellent option for the summer. I have some friends that went through do a volunteering in some amazing places, really like exploring the world, and that's also an option. And of course, if we're talking about CV, you have to be really close with your professors. It's going to be really helpful for you to have a really great relationship with them. And it's very easy to do here. I think most of the programs, the teachers are very welcoming and they're very open to connect with you, to help you get opportunities, to help you with recommendation letters or stuff like that. So don't be shy about it. I know there are some parts of the world where the professor-student relationship is very up down. It's very far away. I think here in Europe is very close, and I think you should take advantage of that.
Can I build up a bit?
Of course, Carolina, take it away.
Okay, thank you. No, definitely. I think SDSI is a great program in the sense that, again, we are very connected with our coordinators and teachers. And for example, speaking really about maximizing your CV, for example, I graduated 2 months ago, and they are the ones that you can contact to ask, for example, for recommendation letters. This, for example, is helping me out now in my, I'm trying to find a job after graduating. I know some people are curious about what after I do my mobility and how is it the market. But for example, there are some of the teachers that are already working in the industry. So actually, if you get, as John was saying, as we are that close to them and there's more a bottom-up approach, so the students have initiative and contact the teachers, they're very willing to actually help you out and recommend you and write these letters. And maybe they work in a company that you're interested in. And there are two options. You can explore that through the thesis semester. So maybe the company has a traineeship for you doing your thesis. Or they are willing to, after you graduate, recommend you for a junior position or even an internship after you graduate. They could be the ones really helping you through the mobility and even afterwards. And again, if you think about it, you're graduating in a topic, and in the end, your teachers are going to be also your colleagues, maybe your senior colleagues in a way. So if they know you from the classes, they might recommend you easier than maybe other students they don't know. Because indeed, the Mundus programs are very close. The teachers become very like friendly because they also understand that you're doing this mobility, so you're not in your country, you're also dealing with a lot of different things at the same time. So if you share some concerns, they are the ones, at least in my case, I've been contacting some of them, and they are really, really, really willing to help out. So I advise you that throughout the 2 years of your mobility, of course, you can check, and they will tell you in the classes where they work, what they do. And if you resonate for for the thesis matters, that's a great something that you can explore and see. Oh, this company actually, I would work for them in the future. And the thesis is 6 months, so it's a good entry to see uh, like how they work and the culture, the work culture. Because again, in Europe, sometimes the work culture is different even within different countries. So it's something to be worried about and curious about, and see how you could fit in those. And when it comes to maximizing the summer that you have in between, for example, I could organize a summer school. Instead of being a summer school participant, I was organizing a summer school for other students to come to the university I was, or in this case to Kuldikas, so this city in Latvia. And the coordinators really were open for us to organize this. And we had a lovely week with students from 5 countries. So if you have this initiative again to organize things, you can benefit from a lot of different opportunities, both in the participant side or the organizer side. It also depends on your personality and what you want to do in the summertime.
Can I can I just add about the elective courses? Because
Sure.
I think, yeah, it should be the courses that should truly interest you, and not just, because of the peer pressure, because their friends selected those courses. Because ideally, those are the ones that you're going to connect into your intended thesis in the fourth semester. Or if you want to explore new area, I think that's okay to explore. And I can say not all the students have something ready in their minds for their final thesis, and I can really relate to that. So use these opportunities, the elective courses, to know your abilities, your interest, and along the way, you will be surprised that you will have something to do for your final thesis. So yeah, and for the summer school, I can say not all the programs have the built-in summer school in their curriculum. We For our program, we don't have the ones that included in our program. So in this case, you will need to look for the opportunities by yourself. You can explore other nearby universities or maybe other countries for the summer school, and they have this that you need to pay. And there's also some that are free, but you need to apply for this. So there's also European website where you can browse these opportunities. Maybe we can share it to them on the chat. And lastly, I think we should be proactive. Ask the professor about the internship positions. Some may have connections. And I can consider the professors here in Europe in case in our universities, and they are very open and they are very helpful to us. That's all for me.
Excellent points. I think one of the things that really stands out here is that you really do need to do the heavy lifting, and the heavy lifting really pays off much later. And so don't be afraid to shoot your shot if you see there's a gap somewhere in your program and so on and so forth. And I think the three speakers, Maria, John, and Carolina, have really emphasized on the importance of just, going for it and building a relationship with your professor and pretty much everybody that you will encounter during your program. And I think to wrap up this discussion, I would like us to discuss something to do with what is or what are some of the unique experiences of an EMJM student, and how can you use these experiences to actually enrich your CV for later, depending on what exactly you would want to do. I do believe that maybe the question of what next could be a PhD, a job, it could be a project that you want to go back to your own home country and do. But what are some of the experiences that, maybe they could leverage on and add on to their CVs and see where that leads?
Just very quick answer. So having multiple universities, and these are competitive universities, in your CV within just 1 to 2 years of the master program, it highlights how competitive you are, because you were been selected among thousands of applicants around the world, and something you're proud of putting in your CV, and other people are seeing that, including the recruiter. So it also demonstrates, I think, that the adaptability that you are working on with a multicultural environment within this short period of time. That's all for me.
Definitely agreeing with Maria here. I think the Mundus programs, it's maybe the unique opportunity that you will be in the same room working with people. In our case, in my class, we were 22 different nationalities. So having this in your CV and how you write it under your mobility once you graduate, this is very interesting for companies because again, you will build on this multiculturalism. In the case of SDSI, with a lot of group projects, for example, and this is going to be the time that you're